Yeah. Notepad music. Let's go. Let's go. Dynasty. Notepad music. Let's go. Show me love, planet Earth. I need millions. Cocaine help me make millions. Fentanyl. Kill.
See, they say that Angel Snub Nub 7 don't care about the people. But Angel Snub Nub 7 cares about the people because I'm bold enough to tell you the truth. And I don't give a damn if you give me a dime. I'm not looking for your money.
Notepad music. We need money. Yo, thank you, Jehovah, my God, for everything that you do for me. This is not even a doing on me. I know you say I should do it for free. Dynasty. Built it up in a falling economy. You built the army on me. Semi-automatic is on me. Finally free to be an armor team. Army surrounding the army. Follow me to Jerusalem, Salem. Assalamu alaikum. Bismillah, Ar-Rahman, Ar-Rahim. Let's do it for the nations, but not all nations. I'm William Ibani in a black Maserati. Machine guns on top of the hood, hitting everybody. 2 flights to Saudi. I'm in a black Rari, headed to the king and a prince. They owe me some money, land and money, or I'll demand the country. Yeah, trust me, I'll black woman, black child, black man this country. Yeah, she loves me, the will's above me. I just refilled, I studied. Yeah, separate the found, make them lost. Separate the ground from the sound, let's raise them all. There's clarity in the center of my mind. I'm at the marriage feast. God told me chill. My brother said prepare myself and eat. Yeah, just landed in LA. Flew from PA. Prepare myself for the sweet. A long way from I-95. We smoke, elite, and sleep. 4-7 a direction leads me into heaven. A collection of lessons. God, I miss my brother Vine. Levine, he held up the Quran. He guides me in Islam to rhyme. Iman Mahdi on my mind all the time. Notepad music is the nuclear bomb that will separate the righteous mind from time. I need to speak to God about something right now. I need my brother Vine resurrected right now.
Nobody takes down Angel Snub Nub 7 easy. There's a reason why. After 100 channels destroyed, Angel Snub Nub 7 is still here. There's a reason why nobody want to get in a beef with Angel Snub Nub 7. But you don't take me seriously, and now your ass is barbecue.
My black people, it's all about the unity. There's nothing they can do with us, so ain't nobody.
We are in a state of emergency.
Prejudice. Wrote a song about it, like to hear it? Here it go. Free your mind.
Yes. I want that. Oh, I need that. Got to have that. It's mine. I can't describe all the joy. I love her.
Islam. So we love planet Earth. I need millions. Cocaine help me make millions. Fentanyl, 2 millions. Cares about those millions. Earth goes on, it can reproduce a million life. So we love planet Earth. I need millions. Cocaine help me make millions. Fentanyl, 2 millions. Cares about those millions. Earth goes on, it can reproduce a million. That's right. Let's go. Let's take it. That's right. That's right. Let's do it.
Good afternoon, good afternoon. How we doing out there in YouTube land? How's we doing? Is you doing all right? Oh, okay. We want to talk about the latest accusations, allegations upon this man we know of as Father Pfleger, who
has been removed from his post, the Archdiocese of Chicago, of whom is best friends with our friendly neighbor, with our friendly neighborhood Minister Louis Farrakhan. The first allegations against Father Pfleger was 2 years ago, I'm told. And as far as I know, no criminal charges, perhaps civil motions have been filed, perhaps, I don't know. But the first allegations was 2 years ago. And it was something that came before the public, and quickly as it rose up, it went away. So now 2 years later, we have someone else that come up out of the woodwork who is alleging, making accusations that Father Pfleger molested them as a child. It reminds me of the Michael Jackson situation. It reminds me of the R. Kelly situation. Both of these men, R. Kelly was acquitted in his first trial. Michael Jackson in 1993 paid off the accuser. But then a few years later, right back at it again. Michael Jackson survived the court trial. R. Kelly, of course, as you know, was convicted. And chances are he would be convicted 2 times. R. Kelly is probably going to spend the rest of his life behind bars. And now we have Father Pfleger, 2 years later, after the first allegations, and now we have brand new. The Catholic Church itself, as we know, it is known, it has a reputation for child molestation from not only the priests, but the nuns also have been accused of child molestation. So it should not be a shock to us that a man of the cloth, the man of the church, Catholic Church diocese, regardless if he is friends with Louis Farrakhan or not. Matter of fact, these things might have happened prior to his friendship. Why you want to bring Farrakhan? And Farrakhan has nothing to do with what happens to Father Pfleger. He has nothing to do with child molestation. Do we really have to have this conversation? Do we really have to have this conversation? Should I just go ahead and just stop my live stream and we just forget about it? Because that's what I started to not say anything. Because as you know, I have a reputation of being a Nation of Islam hater. I have a reputation of being a Louis Farrakhan hater. I'm jealous. I'm envious because Louis Farrakhan, who is riding the coattail of Elijah Muhammad, another man. Louis Farrakhan is riding the coattails of another man. 2 men, actually. Master Farrakhan Muhammad and Elijah Muhammad. And through them, he has generated thousands of listeners. Just because you attract thousands of listeners don't make you right. But for some reason, people believe, or they want to believe, because thousands of people listen to us, that makes us right. There was a man in Germany, millions of people, far more than Louis Farrakhan, they listened to him. Matter of fact, right now, you have, what's his name? Vladimir Putin. Millions of people are listening to him. And the leader of China and the leader of these African nations, and do that make them right? Millions of people listening to those who are in leadership in Iran, who are killing women because of the way they dress, killing women because of a dress code, over 200 and counting, want to control how women dress. They right because millions of people, thousands of people support their insanity. There are serial killers who have a lot of followers in jail, in prison. Those two men, the Menendez brothers, killed their parents. Females actually married them. They would never see the light of day, but they got married in prison. Not serial killer, but they killed their parents. Here we are, we live in a nation that other people want to mimic and follow, who have murdered millions of your ancestors. Do that make them right? So just because thousands and hundreds or whoever, these people live, first of all, the average person, they don't even think for themselves. They're a bunch of zombies. They copy, regurgitate something their parents or society, they have no ability to process information themselves. So I wouldn't be bragging about how many followers I got when the average person out here is a damn zombie. They don't think for themselves. They are easily controlled by religious dogmatism. I wouldn't be bragging about my followers if my followers, see, that's what my followers, they can't think for themselves. They need somebody to follow. They need a savior. They need a sheep herder. They need a messiah. They need some kind of leader. Even the ones that claim, I lead myself. In order to lead yourself, that means you are visionary. That means you contain something of self-discovery. You can't be a Christian. Matter of fact, we can't hardly live life because we are following somebody directly or indirectly. There's a reason why you eat the way you eat, your diet, regardless to whether that diet is, whether you're a meat eater or a vegan. That's not self-discovery. You learn that from somebody. Most of us, the things that we say, the things that we do, we speak English. That's not self-discovery. We copy the society. The society speaks this language, and as children, we mimic the language. It's not something new and original from us. Here we are on YouTube. That's not self-discovery. We're using something that came from somebody else. There's nothing wrong with that. That's how we learn. That's how we advance, by learning from others. The problem is when we follow the wrong thing and we don't hold people in power, we don't hold leadership accountable for their actions when they become corrupt. That's why I want to talk right now. Because of corruption, because of arrogance. We know it all. I'm holy, I'm righteous. We put on these cloaks, we put on these costumes and paint ourselves as something that we're not. We sing and dance and we trick people and deceive. We don't hold people accountable. We make excuses for folks because we like them. We don't see their wrong. We don't see their error because I like you. Something they don't really talk about when they're talking about Jesus Christ, and probably the only examples in the scriptures. Well, actually, there's two things here. Now, there's a scripture where Jesus said something, I'm paraphrasing, something to the effect, I need an ass, I need a donkey. Go get me one. Nobody didn't say anything about go buy a donkey or an ass or whatever. I have need of a donkey. Go get me my ride. So bring that up to modern terms. I need a Cadillac. I need a Tesla electric car or whatever. Go get it for me. I don't have no money. The master need of. Go get me my stuff. So they go out and get Jesus his donkey. Last time I heard, that was stealing. That's theft. The Ten Commandments said, thou shalt not steal. It's not Jesus' donkey. Or maybe one of his people, they didn't really clarify what was going on. Maybe the donkey belonged to somebody. But the way I read it, the way it's worded, the way we see it, it seems like somebody's going to have to steal. Because they was doing a whole lot of walking. If they had their own donkeys to ride, why would they have to go get one if they had one among themselves? It sounded like it was, they had to steal a donkey. Thou shalt not steal, right? This goes to show that Jesus apparently wasn't that perfect. Wasn't that righteous as you claim. Then we have another example. Jesus came to the temple and all these suckers was gambling. They was doing things in the temple. And Jesus had an emotional breakdown. Y'all got to, I don't know where you're going, but you got to get the hell out of here. Jesus lost it. You got to get the hell out of here. Sort of showing violent tendency, don't you think? But see, at the same time, we're human beings. And we suffer error. We make mistakes. We are emotional. Sometimes our emotion gets us in trouble because when we are emotional and we have no control of our emotions, it causes us to not think properly. And we make mistakes. But when you listen to those that follow these men like Father Pfleger, when you listen to people who follow men like Farrakhan, they put them, or people that follow Jesus, they put them on this pedestal of some kind of perfection. So for me, I'm going to call you out on it. Since that's what you want to be, that's what you claim, then we're going to call you out on your bull doo-doo. You perfect. You better than Angel Snub 7. You divine. Well, we need to hold you accountable for your claim. We need to hold you accountable for what you say you can do. Let's look at this picture again. Now, here are two divine persons. They better than Angel Snub 7. They better than you and me, these men right here. This Caucasian fella, priest of the Catholic Church, this fella, Muslim. Both of these men are divine. Both of these men are better, perfect than Angel Snub 7. They're better than you and me. So if you are better and divine, smarter than Angel Snub 7, then you need to be held to a higher criteria than me. My deacons are in the chat room. I want to send a shout out, of course, to the Deacons of Reality. The Mellow Cap and Razzie Fry, Denzel Rogers, Brother Talib, and Sister Ann, and Tafari Smith, and Tangi and her family, Tangi Cox and her family, our people in London and Facebook and Instagram and wherever they are. I want to send a shout out to all our strong supporters. We don't have thousands of people. We don't have hundreds. Matter of fact, we only have 10. Of course, Armin. We don't have hundreds. We don't have thousands. We barely can break 11. I've been here on social media since 2007. I've never claimed to be perfect. I never claimed to be divine. I never claimed that I'm not capable of making mistakes. I never claimed to be a leader. I always tell us, I don't mind leading the charge, but we seek teamwork here. We are all the same. We are all equal. So if I can ride in a brand new Lexus or whatever fancy car, then you should be able to do the same thing because we're equal. If you still riding the bike, damn it, I will ride my bike because we're equal. And we share what we have with each other because that's what family do. These people teach that, but they don't do that. How can you live in a mansion and your followers on Section 8? Because that's the reality of it. Louis Farrakhan and Father Pfleger, they live in their fancy houses or mansions or whatever. And those who follow them, many of their followers on Section 8 EBT cards waiting on the next stimulus check. But they teach equality. We're all the same. I need to talk because, see, some of us, they need a reality check. And you need to be held accountable because you're making claims. And you need to be held to that claim. Least you be called a liar and a deceiver. So here we are. We have Father Pfleger with a smile on his face. We got Louis Farrakhan. They just a smile. Ain't that beautiful? Ain't that a wonderful picture? That's wonderful. That's beautiful. That's two brothers. Farrakhan said, this man is my brother over 20 years. I love Father Pfleger. That's what he said. Didn't you hear Farrakhan say that? I love me some Father Pfleger. Good. He been my friend for 20 years. And he kissed Father Pfleger in the mouth. And then he turned around and he did this in public with no shame. He kissed this white man in the mouth. And then he turned around with no shame. There's nothing queer. There's nothing gay about it. According to who, sir? According to who, sir? And the followers, they usually clap real loud for Farrakhan. But when he did that, they clapped, but it was real light. There's nothing queer about it. These people not held accountable for nothing. They justify their heroes, and these divines and these messiahs can do no wrong. But even in the scriptures, God don't like that kind of behavior. Because according to the scriptures, I remember, y'all can correct me if I'm wrong. Because see, for me, I make mistakes. I paraphrase because I don't know the actual quote. So I paraphrase. But there was a part in the scriptures where Moses, his position with God, it went to his head. And so God had to say, hey, wait a minute, hold up, bro. You're not doing all these things on your own. I'm the power. Without me, you can't do nothing, sir. So these men here, you put on a high pedestal. You put them on a higher pedestal than the God that you're supposed to worship. Jesus has no power. Farrakhan has no power. Elijah Muhammad, Noble Drew Ali, these people have no power. Their power is supposed to come from God. But see, what is the old saying? Out of sight, out of mind. So you don't really see God. You actually see Father Pfleger, and you actually see Farrakhan. You see this human flesh. Because out of sight, out of mind. So you treat Moses because they saw Moses. They did not see God. So you can say out of your mouth, I worship God. No, you worship Father Pfleger. They worship Moses. They worship Jesus. Jesus is not God. Well, all that religious talk, I know that there are Christians. Well, Jesus and God is the all that, whatever. It makes no sense. And we, on this platform, we challenge God because you put God on this pedestal. And you make claims that God can do this and God can do that. Well, God needs to get his ass up and start doing it, because it's been over 2,000 and more years. God ain't did a damn thing. So we challenge and we hold them up to a criteria. Why you want to be manager? You own fries at McDonald's. Why you want to be manager? Not just anybody can be manager. You have to qualify. And then once you become manager, there's a criteria that you have to maintain in order to be manager at McDonald's. If you are not able to do that, they bust you back down to fries. Well, you wanted to be manager, we made you manager, and you're not able to do the job. These men are not doing the job because these men are supposed to take us to God and solve humanity's problem. They have yet to do it. The problems continue on and on and on. But we're going to let you be manager because I like you. We're losing sales at McDonald's. The floor is nasty and dirty because we don't have proper management. You're not ordering the product the way you're supposed to so that we can make the cheeseburgers and the fries or whatever. Because your management skills is poor. The purpose of preacher, the purpose of the minister is to bring the people to God and solve their problems. Jesus is to come and bring life, and life more abundantly. And we still, every day on the news, a 15-year-old child running around just shooting people with a gun because I'm mad and upset. In a world surrounded by those who claim we know God. And even on the block that the young boy ran around with a gun shooting, there probably was a church, probably was a mosque or a synagogue. You can be in the mosque, you can be in the synagogue and get murdered. There's preachers who get killed by their own followers in the church. These people making these claims, I'm divine, I know it all, I'm close to God. Well, then they should have no problem that we hold them accountable and show them that you do not qualify. You just want somebody to have a job because I like you. The CEOs of these top corporations do not put people as a chief executive officer in their business because I like you. I put you there to make my company profitable. I put you there to make my company efficient. That's why you're there. If you cannot do that, I'm going to remove you. You're supposed to bring the people to God. The preachers are supposed to bring the people to God and cause heaven on earth. But all we got is hell. And the preachers and the pastors and the ministers and the imams, the hell you talking about is the hell that religion has created on the earth, not heaven. That's why you focus on the afterlife, because you have failed to bring heaven on earth. Because the scriptures say that the kingdom of heaven is within you. That means it's within the flesh. And the scriptures also talk about heaven on earth. That's your job. But the imam have failed. And the preachers and the priests and all, you have failed. And you don't want voices like me to speak up Because the only way you're surviving is because I like you. Oh, child, that was a good preaching he did Sunday. What is he producing for you in the church? While most of these preachers and pastors are running around in their big houses and private jets, what are they doing for you? You're not holding them accountable. Where does it say in the scriptures, or where is it an example in the scriptures that the preachers and the pastors are supposed to get rich off the poor and the suffering? Jesus was poor. His disciples was poor. But your pastors and your preachers and your ministers run around here. Success is material things. And so they are on TV with Barbara Walters, Ted Koppel on TV. Yes, God has been good to me. God is wonderful. For you. But what about the sheep? You're supposed to be a shepherd. God gave the followers to you to lead them in the right direction. That's your purpose. You have failed the sheep. You are a sad shepherd. And the ways of the filth of the earth, the carnivores and the predators have eaten and continue to eat up God's people. They don't know no better. Sheep don't know any better. A sheep just follow. I like him. I like her. They talk so well. I love it. That's good preaching. Where's the substance? What makes them a good shepherd? When the sheep are getting ate up every day, your children going to prison, your educational system is a failure. So many of us in this country are illiterates. Homelessness, people homeless on the street, mental illness gone bonkers. But yet we are surrounded by God and religion, telling us these fairy tales of what they can do. Well, if you can do these things, we'll do it. You have failed God. So we have these men here. Please stop me, deacons. Please stop me, Armand Delight. Stop, Mello. Please stop me if I'm in error, because see, unlike them, I can say I'm wrong. Just because I'm not a believer in God doesn't mean I don't know what you're supposed to be doing. I don't have to be a police officer to know what a police officer can and cannot do. I don't have to be a school teacher. I know what a school teacher's supposed to do and what they're not supposed to do. On top of that, I was a believer in Bible. I was a believer in Quran. I know what we're supposed to be doing, what you're supposed to be doing. So these men sitting here, they smile, not a care in the world, living good. Ain't missed a meal in decades. Living off the poor and the illiterate and the suffering. Living good. Off working people. Their only job is to get on the podium and tell a pretty story. And produce very little for the investment that the poor, because there ain't a whole lot of rich folks giving them nothing. Some of the stingiest people on the planet are the wealthy, the rich. They're not giving, the wealthy and the rich ain't giving these suckers. They're making their money off the poor because the poor are trying to get get in good with God in the afterlife. And these men telling you about some future, or they take you back into the past. So you don't concentrate on the present, because if you concentrate on the present, you're going to have to put pressure on them and hold them accountable for your horrid condition. So look, here we got Louis Farrakhan and we have Father Pfleger. Ain't that beautiful? They brothers in the faith. La-di-da, la-di-da. Do me a favor. After the video is over, my email is public. It's in the description box. I never seen a picture of Louis Farrakhan smiling, so happy. I never seen a picture of him smiling like that with Brother Khalid Muhammad. I never seen him smiling like that on any picture with Malcolm. But here you are with a man that you call a devil. That's your teachings. You cannot change that. That's the foundation of the teachings. Everybody know that. And you smiling. And you said this man has been my friend for 20 years. I never heard him speak that way about Malcolm. He talked about Malcolm was my brother and I love Malcolm. But you didn't hear you didn't feel the love. He claimed he loved Khalid Muhammad. But when you hear him talk, you don't feel that. People not stupid. We know when you're putting on a show, when you say things. I love Malcolm. But here he is sitting with a man his teacher called them devils. In fact, the Holy Quran says that Muslims not supposed to take Christian and Jews for friends. Elijah Muhammad said in order for a white man to be accepted among Muslims, he must study Islam for at least 20, 25 years, something to that effect. And then they can be accepted into Islam among the holy people. Clearly, Father Pfleger is not that. But Father Pfleger, a Christian Catholic priest, he my best friend for 20 years. The Quran says, Muslim, you are not to take, you ought to take my word for it. It's clear. The Quran says you're not supposed to take Christians and Jews for friends. That's not my word. That's the Quran. Elijah Muhammad said you do not take white people for friends unless they become Muslims and study Islam for over 20 years. That's Farrakhan's supposed to be teacher. That's not me. Don't put that on me. I'm just telling you the teaching. What Elijah Muhammad said, wrote, and what the Quran said. That's where it comes from. Now the Quran supersedes Nation of Islam teachings. When you are in the Nation of Islam, you are taught to put the Quran over everything, including the books by Elijah Muhammad. Matter of fact, you're supposed to wash your hands before touching the Quran. And the Quran is supposed to be on a shelf higher than all the books in your house. So this book says, as a Muslim, you're not supposed to take Christians and Muslims for friends. And where do you find Farrakhan all the time? With Christians. And he also entertained Jews, whom he also supposed to have a problem with also. But he's playing the violin for Jewish people and sniggling and giggling. Farrakhan don't sniggle and giggle for his own people. How much money you raised? That's how he talked to when I was in the Nation of Islam. I never heard him talk beautiful to us like that. It's always how much money you raised. He give you props, a little props. Can't be too evil. You feel no love like that. So we got to have this talk. Because people, they think they all that. You're not all that. You live and you die just like me. You take a dump, you urinate just like me. What make you think you better and smarter than me? And you can't even accomplish what you claim. Claiming all these different things. You better. Well, prove it. You get away with it because you're dealing with people who don't think for themselves. They are sheep. And they like you. Matter of fact, when you hear them talk, it's always about your personality and they like you. It's not even really about your teachings. He sure can preach. I like him. These people do nothing wrong in the eyes of those who behave and act like cult members. That's not what God is about. God is supposed to be about production, changing the people, taking them from unrighteous environment to a righteous environment, changing the earth. And the church and the synagogue, the masjid, the temple, they have become part of the filth that the God is supposed to clean the earth from. So what sense does it make? How is hell a punishment when we used to living in hell? Well, you know, if you don't obey God, you're gonna go to eternal damnation. Hell can't be no worse than what we're dealing with right now. It can't be. So you go to hell for eternal damnation, we fit right at home. Hey, I thought hell was gonna be. I mean, it is a little smoke and there's a lot of fire, but hey, I dig it. Hey, I dig it. I dig hell. It's great. All the cool people gonna be in hell. All the boring people gonna be in heaven. You know, all our favorite people gonna be in hell. So, you know, all the Frank Sinatra type people gonna be, all the Bing Crosby people gonna be in heaven. You gotta listen to Bing Crosby and Frank Sinatra for eternity. Ba 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 bing, ba 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 ba. Ba 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 ba, zi bi bi bi, ba ba ba. You gotta hear that. You gotta hear Frank Sinatra, Bing Crosby for eternity. Might as well be in hell with R. Kelly. Woo, can't be no different. So all that we're doing is just going from one physical hell to spiritual hell. Like, so what? What's the big deal? What we scared of? Nobody is holding these people accountable for their claims. Now, for me, as you know, because I have been a victim of an unjust court system, we are innocent until proven guilty. So that's not the point. Father Pfleger is innocent until proven guilty. Now, even for me, yes, a person is innocent until proven guilty, but because we like somebody, they didn't do nothing wrong. Father Pfleger didn't do nothing because we like people. Some of the worst criminals are well liked. Some of them wear business suits. Some of them treated their victims like hell, but they might treat you like heaven. And we get caught up on that. I can't believe he would do that. I can't believe she would do that. We're innocent until proven guilty, but because we like somebody, oh, I know she lied on Rizza Islam. Because they like Rizza Islam. So the person that's making the allegation, you don't entertain the fact that what they're talking about could be true. It's a government conspiracy. How do you know? You wasn't there. If we are innocent till proven guilty, then that should also apply to the person that's making the allegations, because that what they saying might be true. But we like Rizza Islam. I don't think Michael Jackson didn't molest those children. Now, we know. Now, on this platform, we like Michael Jackson. I like Michael Jackson. But at the same time, Michael Jackson said out of his own mouth, what's wrong with sharing your bed with a boy, a child? That's what Michael said out of his own mouth. How can I approve of that? You're a 40-some-year-old man. What's wrong with sharing your bed with a child? I know when I was those children's ages, well, for me as a child, I never liked sleeping with my parents. As soon as I got of age, I was out of there. I did not like sleeping with my mama. I did not like sleeping with my parents. So I'd be damned if I want to sleep with somebody that ain't my mama, that ain't my daddy. Something is wrong there, y'all. And I like Michael Jackson. In 1993, Michael should have went to court and vindicated himself. He paid that boy off and the parents. They got free money. $20 million. If you innocent like that. Now, I do understand going to jail, going to prison can be scary. I'd rather give you the 20 million than risk a trial and mess around and go to jail. Hey, I'm telling you, going to jail, that's a scary thing. Michael Jackson could not handle. Now, R. Kelly is a little bit tough. I know Michael could not handle jail. He could not handle prison time. That poor man probably commit suicide. It's a rough place. But I can't come here and tell you that I support and advocate Michael Jackson's behavior, being a 40-some-year-old man. And he said out his own mouth. It's a government conspiracy. The man said out of his own mouth. What's wrong with sharing your bed with a child? Boys, not girls, not boys and girls, not children, boys. I can't get with that. I like Michael. I can't support that. I cannot support that behavior. Can't do it, y'all. So I have to entertain the reality, regardless if he was acquitted of those charges. I got to entertain the reality that it's a possibility that he might have molested these children because of what he said out of his own mouth, because of what he did. There were children in his bed, a 40-some-year-old man. Come on. But I like Michael Jackson. Oh, who nobody cares about what you like. Some of the most evil, wicked, nastiest people are people that we like. I cannot support that. Then we have somebody like R. Kelly. Now, mind you, Louis Farrakhan is not talking like me. He's defending Michael Jackson. He's defending Michael Jackson. He's defending R. Kelly. He's defending, back in the day, Mike Tyson. And I'm very sure he would defend Father Pfleger. You cannot be a righteous person and you just assume that the people that's making these allegations are just liars. It's always a government conspiracy. Well, you know they're after Michael Jackson because he want to buy these. They want to try to get the Sony catalog, and they put these rape charges on Bill Cosby because he wanted to buy NBC. Bill Cosby said out of his own mouth, "Yeah, I drugged the women." He said it. He said it out of his own mouth. I drugged these women. How can you, because you like somebody? And before that, not too long before these charges came on Bill Cosby, a few years later, earlier, he was talking about black folks like a dog. We don't work hard enough. He was saying what we do and don't do. Bill Cosby was running his mouth. But see, everybody uses people for their own narrative because it's a government conspiracy. That's what the pro-blackity, black first, Pan-African, it's all a conspiracy. The bad old white man just want to put our brothers in jail. You and I both know, not only celebrities, but in our own families, in our own hoods, you have men and women molesting children, raping us, murdering us in our own hood. Is that a damn government conspiracy? Happening every damn day. Ain't no white folks around. Last year, we were slandered constantly. Ain't no white folks around. Ain't no damn government conspiracy. You just some nasty, foul people who have no character, have no integrity, have no honor. And instead of submitting to the truth, instead of saying I was wrong, I'd rather try to destroy you. But you can't destroy Angel Snub 7 like that. Because we stand on reality, because we stand on the truth. We still speaking strong, still moving forward. We had 10 subscribers and views when we got started, and we still have 10 subscribers and views. Moving on. Shout out to our sister, Small Talk, Sister Ann. Got to stop. You know, when our people show up like that, I got to stop and recognize my people. Sister Ann is my people. I ain't nothing more important than my people. So I can stop and recognize. Small Talk, Sister Ann is in the house, y'all. We're going to recognize our 10. Whenever our 10 subscribers show up, make themselves known, I'm going to stop. Put down everything. put down everything for them. Glad to see you, Sister Ann. Glad to see you. Well, actually, this is a green screen. It's not a poster, it's green screen. I can change it up a lot. I won't put this behind me though. I don't want, because I'm not good enough for the divine people and the Messiahs and the Christ people. We're not good enough for them. Okay, so it's always a government conspiracy. I was talking to a Minister Farrakhan. I'm not going to call them names. I'm just going to say a Minister Farrakhan follower. I'm not going to be like them. They like to call people names and very immature. I don't call Minister Farrakhan Farrakhan and Farrakhan or whatever. I don't do stuff like that. I don't want to drop to their level. But I was talking to one of his people who claim they've been with him for 32 years. And that's fine. Now, we were just talking about illusion. We were just talking about holding people accountable. Okay, we have something called the FOI, the Fruit of Islam, which is the military wing of the Nation of Islam. Farrakhan don't give his army nothing. They don't get free uniforms, shoes, shirts. They get nothing. Those men don't get no benefits at all. I know. I didn't get no, you don't get any kind of benefits. Everything is on you. Now, in the white man's army, some of y'all been to the white man's army. The white man give you benefits, pay for your shelter, your room and board or whatever. They give you free uniforms, all that kind of good stuff. This man want to tell me also, because of that, they can train you to be a soldier. When you are a fruit of Islam, these men are working for white people or whatever. They have to work to take care of themselves. They are too tired. You don't even see them on the street. Like back in the 80s, we used to be on the streets all the time. You don't even see these men on the streets like that no more. Because they tired. Farrakhan they have to pay this high rent. Farrakhan has no Section 8 for his people. They grow a little food that don't feed them. They still have to go to the grocery store. They have nothing after 40 years. These men, many of them cannot do 5 push-ups, can't do 2 push-ups. They're out of shape. You will not see them like you see these men in the white man's army. They can walk and jog for miles. You'll never see the fruit of Islam jogging and going nowhere, walking for miles. They're not in shape. They can just go to a meeting and put on a show. Many of them do not have martial arts self-defense training. Many of them don't want to. They're too damn tired to learn. This is the reality. He's going to tell me, I don't know what I'm talking about. I know what the deal is. That's the reality of it. If you want a real fruit of Islam, you have to pay people so they don't have to work these jobs. Train them so they can be the real deal. What you see is nothing but a fraud. They can run for a few minutes. They're not going to run. A lot of them don't even have proper shoes. You can't run and be no soldier wearing alligator shoes. They wearing alligator shoes, and you wearing these pretty suits. You don't want to mess up your beautiful suit. You know, you're out there trying to look good. You know, it's all about illusion. Even Elijah Muhammad said, he said, this is a Barnum and Bailey world. Everything is not what it seems. This is not what it seems. Especially when you're not holding people accountable for what they claim. Now, these two men and other religious people, they would tell you about the power of God. God created the heavens and the earth, and God got all this power. That's a lot of power. This is what you claim. Now here on this platform, I'm not telling us about all this great power behind me and I created the heavens and the earth and I'm a God, and we don't talk that way here. Everything that we say from this platform is within the realms of reality. We promote the Mississippi campaign. We support the Mississippi campaign. It's a very, very large project, but it's attainable. It's realistic. We don't need to go get power from Krypton. We don't need Batman and Spider-Man. We don't have to wait for the mother plane. It's a large project, but it's reasonable and it's attainable. If we work as a team, if we unify ourselves and take advantage of all the tools and resources at our hand. These men talk about a God that created the heavens and the earth and got all this power. Yet we have not seen this power. Have you seen it? I have not seen. I haven't seen an example of none of this power. And they're not talking about some tiddlywink power. They talk about some for real. We can control the weather. We can control hurricanes and earthquakes. And wow. So when you're talking about power, there's a difference between a 22 and an AK-47. You don't expect a whole lot from a 22. Bang, bang, bang. Bang, bang. 6 shots or whatever. Little 22. AK-47, you expect turn up some stuff. Louis Farrakhan claimed that an AK-47 is behind him, not a 22. Now me, we got a water gun, water pistol. These people claim to have an AK-47 behind them. Where is it? We don't see it. You talking good. Where's the power? You're making a lot of claims. Where's the power? They're making claims of being close to this God of power and righteous and being righteous people. And again, we are innocent till proven guilty. That's the way it's supposed to go. That's not what I experienced. I was guilty, and it took 10 years to be proven innocent. That's not what happened to me. I was treated guilty and condemned guilty. And it took 10 years for me to be innocent. And I had to fight on my own. And I believed in God. And God didn't do a damn thing for me. There was no 22. There was no AK-47 for me. I had to use my brain and change my mindset and understood if I don't do it, it's not going to get done. My brain began to show me what I need to do to get myself out of this situation. God didn't do nothing. The teachings of Elijah Muhammad, the teachings of Jesus, the teachings of Noble Drew Ali, none of this stuff, pro-blackity black stuff, none of it helped me. Reading Dr. Clark's books or Sister Frances Cress Wilson, none of that stuff helped me. None of it. Because you need appropriate knowledge for the task at hand. You don't use a screwdriver to hammer with. You can, but it's not the proper tool for the job. We want liberation. Religion is not the proper tool because religion is to bond. Religion is to enslave. Religion is not made and designed to liberate nobody. All over the world, wherever you find religion, you will find bondage. You will find oppression. You will find suffering. And spirituality also. Because it makes you docile. Because you're living in a fantasy world. After you die, when we're supposed to be concentrating on the life that we know. These things take us into fantasy, Barnum and Bailey world. So you don't want to fight for your life that you know. If there's an afterlife, that's fine. It does not help me here. If there's an afterlife. We have to talk about these things because these people need to be, they're arrogant, and their followers make them feel as though they are more than what they really are. They are not held accountable for their claims. If you are connected to God, then you are connected to the AK-47. Let's see the power. Let Father Pfleger, Louis Farrakhan, come before the people during the heat of summer, and they say that God is going to make it cold. Now you can start listening to them. In the middle of summer, they say that God is going to bring us snowstorms and blizzards. Now, you got my attention. You got my attention. Because, hey, what can I say? These men said that their God, during the middle of summer, is going to bring blizzards, cold weather. What can I say? Deacon, what can I say? Twin, Sister Ann, Mello, Razzie, Almond, what can I say? If Farrakhan get on the roster and say that Master Fard Muhammad is going to bring a snowstorm in the middle of July, and it happened, like, damn, it's starting to get cold around here. But what they do is they take natural phenomenon, the natural things that happen, and they try to say that God is behind it. God is behind the hurricane. We get hurricanes every year. We get tornadoes every year. We get forest fires every year. They bring no evidence, no proof that God did a damn thing. This stuff been happening for generations. It had nothing to do with no damn God. But what has not happened is a blizzard in the middle of summer. Let's see that. Let's see. Let's listen to Farrakhan, and Farrakhan say a hurricane is coming to New Orleans, but God is going to back it up, make it go back into the ocean. So we listen to the news, and the governor of Louisiana is saying, hey, you better evacuate because this hurricane is coming. And then, of course, a lot of people going to evacuate, but I have faith in my minister. Minister Farrakhan said that Allah, Master Fard Muhammad, is going to reverse the hurricane and take it back out into the ocean. And then it happened. I might as well shut down the reality temple on earth, y'all. I was wrong. I can admit I'm wrong. I'm like, damn. Did y'all see that? The hurricane. Everybody is like, it's unexplainable. We can't even explain how a hurricane is coming, and then it went in reverse and went back out into the ocean. So you will see me shut down the realities temple. I have nothing else to say. I'll go find my old bow tie. Please, sir, can I be an FOI? Can I be? Hey, you have to submit to reality. But we have not seen. Yeah, that's right, Twin. Twin and Deacon, you're going to have to get your bow tie. You're going to have to get your bow tie, put on your suit, learn how to sell bean pie, because this is it. Hey, what can we say? And hope they Forgive us for our blasphemy. Forgive us for our disbelief. And because that's, hey, what can you say? Well, what can you say? I'm very confident that's never going to happen. That's how these quacks and these tricksters, they fool people. They take things that's natural and try to spin it like they are the power, like they have something to do with it. I can prophesy. I can prophesy and say that I'm going to die in a car accident. There's a high probability that that can happen because I drive a car, I walk around cars, cars are around me. So there's a probability that I could be killed in a car accident, hit by a car. That doesn't take special powers. I can say that you will be choked by a fish bone. People die every year from being choked by a bone, fish bone or chicken bone or something. Has nothing to do with special powers or connection to God. It's a bunch of guesswork because the probability is there. You can prophesy and say, Angel Snub 7 gonna die during his live stream, live. It can happen. I could be talking to us and just drop dead. Bloop. Just drop dead. What happened to Snub? Snapper. Angel, what happened? Angel Snub. What happened to him? Drop dead. It can happen. The probability is there. And then we'll look at the person that said it. What? They said Snub was going to die on his live stream. And he did. You got the power of God. The probability is there. Has nothing to do with no special powers or anything. We have to accept reality. And that's what this ministry is about. I want to say this in conclusion. These people making these claims, we have to hold them accountable. And the reason why you won't hold them accountable, because you don't want to be disappointed. Because deep down in your heart, you know it's not true. It's just something good to believe in. You know it's not real. Majority of these people, they know it's not real. Deep down in their heart, if I could put them on the stand, I could break them down and make them say, I just believe, they know it's not real. They know. People not stupid as we think. It makes them feel good, like crack cocaine. There's no difference between religious and spiritual belief and crack cocaine. Crack cocaine gives you a feeling of euphoria, makes you feel good. That's what it's about, feeling good. You keep chasing booty because the vagina, because it makes you feel good. Sucking on something makes you feel good. Seeking temporary pleasure. So you got to keep listening to Farrakhan over and over again. Because he does not produce that which is permanent. Heaven should be permanent. Every day should be pleasurable in heaven. But since we're not living in heaven, we got to chase pleasure. We got to chase the penis. We got to chase the vagina. We got to chase the good sounding preacher. We got to chase good food. Ooh, that spaghetti show was good. the crack cocaine, the heroin. But it's temporary. But heaven is permanent. And you shouldn't have to chase because it's your life every day. I want to say this in conclusion. I saw a post by a Pan-African person, and they was expressing their disappointment, and they want to quit calling themselves Pan-African. Why is that? Because they begin to see the reality of things. That Africa is not interested in unity. But why is that a shock to the Pan-African when the Africans, the people on the continent, they wasn't interested when Marcus Garvey was here? What African nation was friends and connected to Marcus Garvey? Not one. It was just his teaching about Africa. Africa is a continent with over 50 nations. Marcus Garvey was not connected to none of them. What is Pan-African? Where does Pan-Africanism really come from? It really comes from America. It didn't originate in Africa. Pan-Africanism originated with Black Americans because we are taught, we African, and I want to go back to the motherland and get connected. That's where it comes from. You bring that to people on the continent of Africa, you know, what the hell are we talking about? What is that? A lot of them are involved in tribal wars, religious wars for generations. Nations don't like other nations there. Been going on for generations. That's why it was easy for the Europeans or anybody to go to Africa, because they are tribal. They're not interested. There's hundreds of different belief systems, different tribes and people. They're not interested in unification. They're not even trying. The closest they ever came to unification was with Muammar Gaddafi trying to start some type of African banking system. And of course, the European, oh, that's a no-no. You messing with my bread and butter. So they created the most costly assassination in world history of Muammar Gaddafi, because they knew that those Africans are not interested in nothing like that. Let's kill the head. Don't have to worry about them Africans no more. And that's what happened. They murdered, they assassinated Muammar Gaddafi, whether you like him or not. They murdered him, and it was business as usual, like what they got going on right now. So you have these Pan-Africans in this country that live in this world of make-believe because they have some African friends. Or I know there can be African unity because I got a friend. What's that song? I got a friend in me. I got a friend in Africa. I got a friend in me. I got a friend in Africa. Remind me of that old Disney song. I got a friend in me. Because they have an African friend. Or they can start their own little business with somebody in Africa. But you have no African leadership, no African nation supports Pan-Africanism. So that somebody was talking about the Mississippi campaign is a pipe dream. What's a pipe dream is proven. There was no African unity during the lifetime of Marcus Garvey, and there is none now. Those African leaders and people are trying to live and be like European. They're trying to be like the United States of America. They are corrupt. They are exploiting their own people for their own enrichment. They're not interested in your Pan-African nothing. They don't view you as a brother or a sister. The only way you can get those people in government in Africa to listen to you, what you got to offer. And you have nothing to offer. But if you had something like the Mississippi campaign, now you have something to barter. You have something to work with, and they will listen to you. Listen to you because now you are a power and you have influence in the United States, and that's who they want to get close to. Not you. You ain't nothing. You have no power. You don't understand that. So Pan-Africanism, which simply is the unification of African people on the earth, Pan-Africanism has been turned into a religion where I believe. And if you get an African friend, it makes your belief more stronger. Because I got a friend in Africa. These Pan-Africans don't have one African nation that supports them. They didn't have it during the time of Marcus Garvey, and they still don't have it. I have no problem. Why should I be upset? Why should I have a problem with Pan-Africanism? The problem is the people that you're talking about ain't interested. I don't talk about black unity no more because I understand that you're not interested. I present things just to present them. Maybe you might get on board the Soul Train one day, so I keep talking about it. But I understand where your mind is at. And maybe you are African. Because they don't want unity, being stupid, and you don't want unity either, being stupid. The Africans are tribal, and you are tribal. And they are in love with the people they like. You have the same kind of behaviors. And the people they like take from them and don't produce nothing. And that's the kind of people you like. You like people that take from you and give you nothing. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad said in the teachings, why does the Negro love the white man? Because he gives you nothing. Why do you love these men? Because they give you nothing. Now, Father Pfleger is a little bit more different than Farrakhan. At least, especially during the holidays, the Catholic Church hands out turkeys and help and have different little programs to try to help people or whatever, blah, blah, blah. You can get a little help from the Catholic Church. You're not going to get nothing from Farrakhan. They don't even give turkeys away no more. At one time, they would give turkeys away. They don't do nothing no more with Farrakhan. Everything goes to Chicago to help him live good. Because that mansion and how Farrakhan lived, that's very, very costly. The money they spending on Farrakhan living as an individual and his family, they could have built brand new housing projects, low-income housing, not only for Muslims, but for the people themselves. People are drawn to you when you help them like that. Matter of fact, back in the day, that's the reason why a lot of people was attracted to the Nation of Islam, because they were producing a little something, something for the people. You're not getting anything from Louis Farrakhan. That's not my fault. Has nothing to do with me. It's obvious. And then the people that like him, they keep coming up with all these excuses and they want to play Ring Around the Roses. When it's all said and done, sir, the investment that we put into the Nation of Islam produced little. That's not my fault. But you accept that because you like Farrakhan. But you're not producing nothing. You accept that because you like T.D. Jakes or what's the name, Joel Osteen and these other preachers. They produce nothing. Why do the Negro love the devil? Because the devil gives them nothing. Here we are. We're telling you, you get on board the soul train. We want to produce, or we will sit our ass down. And we're not going to wait 30, 40 damn years. You're going to start seeing the production now. You don't want to support that. Somebody that want to give you something. You want to support the people that you like, that give you nothing. And that's your, as Bobby Brown would say, that's your prerogative. You can do that. I wish you the best of luck. But we cannot sit here and be silent and these persons making all these claims. The power of God is behind me. And then don't hold them accountable for what they say. They need to be held accountable. I want you on my team because you claim you get 15, 20, 30 points a game. I want you on my team because I want those 20, 25 points on my team. You get out there and you barely can make 5 points. You're a damn liar. You didn't produce. Now, if I like you, oh, that's all right, man. I like you. You can stay out there. Even though you told me you can do 25 points, you're only putting up 5 points a game. It's all right. I like you. The NBA is not going for it. Nobody who wants to win, nobody who wants to win is going to do that. Look, I like you. Hey, bro, me and you cool. But you told me that you can put up 25 points a game and you barely getting 5. I got to sit you down. I got to put somebody else up. They can only get 10 points, but that's better than your 5 points. You're going to have to sit down. That's the reality. That's life when you want to win. You're comfortable being a damn loser. But you want people to treat you like you're a winner and you're a loser. You think like a loser, you act like a loser. How you doing? Mr. Gray Fox. Never seen Gray Fox in the house. Well, welcome to the Realities Temple on Earth, Mr. Gray Fox. Glad to see you. Glad to see you. Ain't nobody trying to hurt nobody's feelings. Nobody is trying to hate. Nobody jealous of nobody. Nobody envious of nobody. It's about winning. If the Moors win, I win. If the Nation of Islam win, I win. I'm a winner. No matter how it goes. Why would I be upset because you are successful? Thank you, Mr. Gray Fox. Appreciate it. So I guess that's my Mr. Gray Fox is my 11th viewer, my 11th subscribers. I only have 10 subscribers, y'all. So Mr. Gray Fox makes 11. So I have 11 subscribers now, y'all. People are actually upset with us because we want to be winners. No pretend. I don't have to explain how I won. No, you're going to understand. I'm a winner. I don't have to explain nothing. I'm a winner. These people are actually upset because we want to be a winner. And on this platform, we winners even when we lose. So it's impossible for us to be losers regardless. We are winners even when we lose. So you can't beat that. Why should I be upset because you are successful? That's a good thing. We want you to live up to those claims, but you're not living up to those claims. That's the problem. You're making these false promises. You're putting on this false hope. You're not living up to what you say that you can do. Where are those 40 points that you said that you could put on the board? And you're making excuses for foul people because you like them. So you can be a murderer, but I like you. Well, maybe he had to kill those 60 people at the ice cream bar. I like him. You sound sick. That's us. It's a government conspiracy. Everything ain't no damn government conspiracy. We understand the reality that the government can do different things to stop our progress. Well, first of all, we ain't making no damn progress to stop. Besides talk, what has Rizza Islam done? Where is his housing project? Where is his factory where we make our own cars? The Rizza Islam nuclear power plant. Don't think Rizza Islam don't take the COVID vaccine, listen to Farrakhan and whatever. They ain't saying, how is that a threat? That ain't no damn threat. How is Rizza Islam a threat? Government conspiracy. Now, I'm very sure the government is listening to us. Even Angel Snubbing Up 7, I'm very sure, they have people that keep an eye on the slaves on the plantation. I'm very sure. But we ain't no threat. Ain't nobody no damn threat. The 1960s was a threat. You and me in 2020, we ain't did a damn thing to be considered a threat. Talking about pyramids, flying out your body, astral projection out into the universe, and the low vibrations, the high vibration. I got good vibrations, low vibration. What kind of threat are you? Oh, all thing we do is watch videos all day, watch TV. Yeah, it ain't no damn threat. But if you actually was producing what you claim you about, it'll be a different ball game. The problem also is you don't know how to produce what you claim you can do. You don't know what to do. Trying to follow dead people. Noble Drew Ali said this and Malcolm X and they ain't here, y'all. Marcus Garvey would have did this and Elijah Muhammad would have did that. They ain't here to do nothing. You can't even produce what they done back in the day. You have more money, you are more educated, you have more opportunities, more resources, and you cannot even duplicate what Noble Drew Ali did, or Marcus Garvey, or any of our forefathers. You can't even duplicate it. And you get angry at Angel Snub Nub 7 because I say, if you can't produce and you can't, sit your ass down. How you gonna get angry at me? You told me that you can put 40 points on the board. We only see 5. Where's the other 35 points you claim you can put on the board? But I'm supposed to keep you on the floor because I like you. I like you. I'm going to say this, we're going to get out of here. This group here, EnVogue, you want to be a member of EnVogue. You claim you can hit the harmonies and you can do whatever. They're not going to let you join that group unless you can produce. And then once you get in the group, you're going to have to be able to handle the traveling, the slander, and everything else that goes with show business. Otherwise, you get dropped. Otherwise, you will quit because you can't handle it. They're not going to keep you in the group because, Cindy, let's keep Terry in the group because I like her. That's not how it works. That's why you continue to lose. The people you like cannot produce for you. You need to be attentive and drawn to those who can produce for you. Give other people a chance. Give another mindset a chance, different strategies a chance. Because these things that we have been using is not doing nothing for us. That's not my fault. Exactly, Mr. Gray Fox. Mr. Gray Fox says, seems like the only way we know how to move is backwards. The past. We respect the past. We learn from the past. But this is our time. I have a brain just like Marcus Garvey. I have a brain just like Frederick Douglass and Medgar Evers and Martin Luther King or whoever, Harriet Tubman, Fannie Lou Hamer. We have brains too. Why we can't use our brain and push the struggle further and make progress? We waiting on dead folks. Keep talking about Kemet. I mean, the amulets and what? You know all about the past, but don't know nothing about the present. Thus, you don't know a damn thing about the future. I say to us, I say to Mr. Gray Fox, I say to those, Almond Delight, the Deacons and Mello and Sister Ann, those who are listening and those who will be listening to this broadcast later on, I suggest that we get on board the Soul Train. Because, see, the Soul Train is inclusive. The Soul Train is like a beehive. Come up out of your comb and just find your spot and go to work. That's what bees do. A bee comes out of the comb, look around, and go to work. The bee is not born and come out the comb talk about, is you a Muslim bee? Is you a Moorish Science Temple bee? Is you a Christian bee? Do you know you a bee? Is you a transgender bee? The bee comes out of the comb and go to work. Because everybody is important. The bees know that it takes everybody in order to make this work. They don't trip on what another bee is supposed to be. Maybe the bee was born with 3 legs, something. Find your place and go to work and make the hive function. One of my favorite surahs, not surahs, one of the chapters in the Quran is called the bee. Why would the Quran have a chapter in it called the bee? Bees are very successful. They don't have the human brain. How can you be a human being with a brain far superior to a bee, but you cannot accomplish what bees can accomplish? Because bees are producers and you are consumers dependent on another man. You talk a good game and you huff and you puff and you want to blow a house down, but you can't. I say get on board the soul train. Find your spot. You don't have to like nobody. You don't have to love nobody. But sooner or later, we're going to get to the point of no return. And we are going to get exactly what we asked for. And that's extinction. So you don't have to worry about it no more. What we know as an African American or a Pan-African, Aboriginal, whatever the hell, a Hebrew Israelite, whatever you want to call yourself, you putting yourself on the extinction, on the extinct list. What is it they have for animals? The endangered species list. Actually, coming from y'all, we already on the endangered species list. So you're on your merry way out. And maybe that's a good thing. Because those things that cannot change and adapt on the earth, they go extinct. Never to be seen again. There's a lot of animals and plants been on this earth, extinct. Never to be seen again. Mind you, the so-called Negro, we're not natural anyway. We are a creation and a product of the slave plantation. And if you understand how the Negro really was created, you will understand why we act and behave the way we do. So it don't shock me. I'm not shocked. Because we are what we are. But unlike a cow or a chicken or a cat and a dog, we're supposed to have a superior intellect, a superior brain that makes us different. But apparently, that's not the case. Time, don't get angry at Angel Snubbing Up 7. Time has revealed the truth. Time has revealed the obvious. Angel Snubbing Up 7 is just talking the obvious. You don't have to do no research. You don't have to get the information. Just see things as they are. If you can't do the job, then you need to sit your ass down. It's simple as that. You can't do the job. You should be happy to put people in position that can produce for you. Louis Farrakhan is not a leader. He's just a preacher. He cannot produce for you. 40 years is quite obvious. Take your resources, take your time, and support that which can produce for you. I say give us the Realities Temple, give us a try. And I would tell you, if it's not going right, I'll tell you, hey, it's not going, I can't do it. I'm not going to let you waste your time and your money because you like me. We want to produce or sit down. That's what it's about. Production. You steady a consumer, you're steady spending your money and investing and you're getting nothing back. How long are you going to tolerate that? That's guaranteed extinction. That's guaranteed extinction. So on that note, we said what we have to say. I appreciate you joining us this afternoon. It's amazing how a 30-minute talk turned into 2 hours. But it's all gravy. It's all gravy. Again, we're not here to hurt people's feelings. Has nothing to do with jealousy or envy. How can you be jealous and envious of somebody that's not producing nothing? You have thousands of followers, thousands of listeners, and you can't produce no more than a person with 10 viewers, 10 subscribers. So how are we supposed to be jealous? If you are 1,000,000 times bigger than Angel Snub Nub 7, we should expect 1,000 times more from you. And you're not producing. You want us to give you unearned credit, unearned praise because of the hype. But there's no substance. Like an apple with no nutrition. Well, it's nice having an apple. What's the sense of eating an apple? It has no nutritional value. So we eating these teachings. We are eating, consuming these beliefs. We are eating these personalities, but there's no nutritional value. That's starvation, people. You eating is still starvation. We don't want to do that no more. To continue on that path is guaranteed extinction. And we want to live. We got our sister Tangi in the house. Shout out to Sister Tangi, Josiah, Sister India, and Leah in the house, California in the house. Thank you for joining us. Another spontaneous broadcast. I didn't want to speak on this, but I decided I had to, because we need to hold people accountable. This is not a popularity contest. You can still like the person, they just can't produce. Louis Farrakhan, Tariq Nasheed, Cynthia G, all these different people y'all love, they're likable people. They're not producing for you. Michi X, the Pan-Africans, Aboriginals, they're not producing for you. You keep giving people your money, your time, and they're not producing for you. You should no longer tolerate that. You shouldn't. You deserve better. We as a people deserve better. And your success will challenge this government. Then you need to worry about the government messing with you because they don't want us successful. But we're not doing nothing to be a threat to the government. Because we're not producing anything. The little tiddlywink stuff that we do, nobody is impressed. But if you could implement the Beehive, which we call Operation Exodus Mississippi campaign, just to talk about it would get people upset. Them Negroes talk about trying to take control of a state. They get the attention not only in America, that'll get the attention of the world, believe me. What? They want to take control of a state? Do you realize how big a state is? Not a town, not a neighborhood, not a city. They want to take control of a state. That will, just to talk about it. I'm not talking about we actually do it. Just to talk about it will get the attention of the world. They might stop the Ukrainian war over it. Hey, let's stop those Negroes in America talking about taking control of a state. Can you imagine that? We need something big. You got to think big. We're too far behind in the struggle to keep thinking individualized and small. And the only way we can get that job done is to act and behave like a bee. Come up out of the cone, find your place, and go to work. We've done enough talking. I believe, what's his name? That doctor? What's his name? Dr. Watkins. They getting ready to do another conference. How many damn conferences do y'all need? They're getting ready to do another conference. It's Dr. Watkins, Boyce Watkins, and Rizza Islam, and some other people I don't know about. Professor Smart. How many? Tariq Nasheed had a conference not too long ago, and the ADOS, all these damn conferences, and right around the corner, Minister Farrakhan, they're gonna have Savior's Day. How many of these damn meetings and stuff that y'all need? These conferences. Meet Your Ex got some conferences, meetings to produce what? Let's go back to 2010. These conferences, these meetings have produced what for us in any neighborhood? Come on, it's got to stop. You deserve better. You deserve better. What's wrong with me expressing to us to be winners, to be producers, to want to unify? You actually angry with Angel Step number 7 because I want us to be producers. All this damn talk. All these things can be used. They can come under one umbrella. Find your spot and go to work. We're selfish and we're arrogant. And you're going to get exactly what you asked for. And those Africans who you love, getting exactly what they asked for. You think you have a future in Africa. They going downhill. They going downhill. You should put yourself in a position so you can get some of that. You can't save those people. there was a scene in Shaka Zulu. May he rest in peace, Henry Seeley. I love that movie, Shaka Zulu. I love that man. The man that played Shaka Zulu, Henry Seeley, incredible actor. He just brought that essence to the character based on a real person, Shaka Zulu. When Shaka was taking over the tribe that he came from, and that elder did not want to submit to Shaka coming to be the king, and the elder said something to the effect, I pray the ancestors to protect the tribe, and because he didn't like Shaka coming to be the king. And Shaka told him things would never be what it was again. And this is the reality of things that we don't want to face. They want to try to bring back Kemet, Timbuktu, and all these things in the past that they never lived. Those things will never be the same. It's over. The fantasy of Africa in your mind is over. It's gone. It's destroyed. It's gone. It's over with. This is your time. Find your place. Stop worrying about other people. That's their business. You control nothing in Africa. They're not giving you nothing. You better look out for yourself. Otherwise, you won't exist. And that's the reality of it. It's not my fault. I'm telling us what we need to do to survive, to move forward. You wasting time because you like somebody, but they're not doing anything for you. And many of these people, they would be dead themselves in the next few years. What you gonna do? You gotta learn how to do for yourself. Use your brain. Your brain is just as good, and you are connected to God just as connected as these men are, if not more. Stop putting yourself down. All of us come from the earth. All of us supposed to be children of God. What makes them special? You need to break out of that slave mentality. Ain't nobody better than you. Ain't nobody better and smarter than me. We all have our talents. We all have our understandings. Nobody is better than nobody. Stop, get out of this slave mentality, slave mind. Why does my phone keep blowing up? Let me get out of here. We spent enough time. Thank you for listening. Jot down your comments. Thank you again for joining us on the spontaneous broadcast. And actually, I got more company than I thought I would at this particular time on a Monday, spontaneous. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Mr. Gray Fox, thank you. Sister Tangi, Small Talk, Sister Ann, the Deacons, Mello, those who are listening and those who will be listening to this broadcast later on, I appreciate it. Appreciate you joining and keeping me company. And again, unlike some people, I'm not perfect. I can be corrected. I do make mistakes. And you can't tell me I can't produce because you haven't gave me a chance. You haven't gave us a chance to show whether or not we can produce or not. But we do know, because time has shown, you have supported others and they're not producing for you. It's obvious. How much time do they need? 25 years, 30 years, 50 years, 100 years? If we can't produce for us now, I'll be happy to sit down. No problem. Unlike them. Have a nice, peaceful day if you can. Jot down your comments, subscribe, share, like, all that kind of good stuff. And we will catch you on the flip. I'm Angel Snub Number 7. This is the Reality's Temple on Earth. And as our ancestor, Don Cornelius, used to always say, as in parting, I wish you love, peace, and soul. And we are Audi 5000.